Hello, welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. I'm Ranj. Today I will be giving you select fights from UFC 269. Be sure to check out the videos I did earlier this week covering all the prelims fights right from the first one with Priscilla Cachoeira and Jillian Robertson right up to boom, the headliner of the prelims, Josh Emmett, Dan Ige. Well, that one I'm doing now, but I did all the other prelim fights previously building up to this, so be sure to check those videos out. I'm gonna cover every fight on the card before the end of the week, and it's already Thursday, so we gotta get going. But here we are, moving up the card. We have the headliner of the prelims, like I just mentioned, featherweight fight between Josh Emmett, hard-hitting Josh Emmett, and tough as nails, Dan 50K Ige. Dan Ige used to have a different nickname. I forgot what it was, but then he started getting all these fight bonuses, $50,000, and he changed his name to Dan 50K Ige. Josh Emmett, 16-2. He is the favorite here at -150. He opened up at -220. Big time favorite. But now money obviously has been dumping in on Dan Ige, causing the lines to shift. Dan Ige opened up at +180. Now he's at a +130. So if you were on Dan Ige, you should have. I hope you got him early before the line moved. But still, there's value on either side depending on who you take. Let's get into this, starting with the favorite and Josh Emmett. Hard hitting Josh Emmett. I think possibly the hardest hitting featherweight, in the UFC right now. I don't know anybody at 145 that can deliver a harder punch than Josh Emmett, but I'm sure there's arguments for that. But anyway, Josh Emmett, fighting out of Alpha Male, is coming off a win against Shane Burgos. And I guess the fight against Shane Burgos, in the first round, he blew his meniscus or something, or he tore an MCL. He did something to his leg. He hurt his leg, yet he still managed to knock down Shane Burgos and finish the fight winning by unanimous decision with an injured leg. That shows toughness right there, and that was a while ago, and I think he's recovered from that. He took time off after that fight, and he's recovered. I'd like to think probably 100% after that. I think it was an MCL sprain, or I don't know. I forget the exact nature of the leg injury, but I know he won that fight on a bad leg, and he hurt it the first round. So rounds 2 and 3 he won on a bad leg against Shane Burgos, and Shane Burgos was known for his durability, but Josh Emmett was rocking him, and Shane Burgos I don't think has been the same since that fight. But before that, he had a win against Mirsad Bektic. I mentioned that because that is a common opponent. He's 4-1 in his last 5. The one loss was to Little Heathen Jeremy Stevens, where Jeremy Stevens actually TKO'd him in round 2. That was back in 2018. But you can't just forget about it. It did happen for Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett is 36, so he is 6 years older than 50K Dan Ige. Dan Ige now, 15-4, coming in, like I said, it was +180. So if you're on the durable Hawaiian, I hope you took him earlier. Now he's still plus money, still is at +130, still attractive. He's coming off a loss to the Korean Zombie Chan Sung Jung, unanimous decision loss, where pretty much Zombie controlled him the entire fight, did what he wanted to. And before that, he has lost to Calvin Kattar, but Calvin Kattar is pretty good, except for he didn't have I mean, he withstood Max Holloway, but Max Holloway broke records with all the strikes landed on Calvin Kattar. But anyway, Calvin Kattar is a good fighter. It's just he's had a bad outing in that main event against Max Holloway. But you gotta hand it to him. He stuck through the entire fight, even though he absorbed hundreds of shots on his face. And like I said, they do have a common opponent, Mirsad Bektic. Josh Emmett knocked out Mirsad Bektic round 1 by TKO. Dan Ige beat him by unanimous decision. So take that for what you will. That is a little bit MMA math, if you want to say. But I don't put faith into MMA math. I just thought I'd mention it as a common opponent. Dan Ige has a very slight 1-inch height and 1-inch reach advantage, but that don't mean shit to either way. It's only an inch. I mean, Christ. He fights out of Extreme Couture in Vegas. I mean, this is gonna be this is fight of the night contender. This is gonna be a battle. I think it's gonna be very close. Let's see what the cappers have to say in this fight. Starting off with the favorite in Josh Emmett, we've got my boy, my friend, UFC Celebrities and Classics. That's Vlad, the Bulgarian Cowboy. He said the fight goes into the 3rd round is his bet. I don't even know if you can you can. These all this stuff is from Bet Online as of just now. I looked up the odds. Over 2.5 is -205, so it is expected to go into the 3rd round. Under that is +165, but he also Vlad is taking the side and he's taking Josh Emmett. Then jumping over to Dan Ige, we've got MMA Joey, who, I never used MMA Joey. I have been subscribed to his channel. Let me tell you, every Wednesday he does a live stream where he goes over the card and he fields any type of question you have for him regarding UFC. And the dude has knowledge that just quite quick. Like he says, like he asks questions of the chat, like who would you ideal matchups and who would you like to see in a fight and blah blah blah. And I guess and this is how I was impressed. Well, let me tell you the story about MMA Joey. I've been, like I said, I was subscribed to MMA Joey for a long time. I never really used him, but I watch his live stream and I was in there just hanging out because I was doing research like through Tapology, had him playing in the background. Then I was looking at his and he's very active with the chat, especially Wednesday nights. He was reading through the chats and there was some troll in there that said, he's like, your weak ass channel, I'm gonna unsubscribe from this crap. And the dude was just such a miserable troll. And Joey was like, well, if I'm so weak, how come you've been on here for an hour and a half? And you look back at the chat, and he was like one of the first chatters. I forgot his name. It's like something Dragon. I forget what it was, but the dude was like just bashing MMA Joey for no reason. He's like, there's so many better cappers than you. You're weak sauce. But the dude did just watch him for an hour and a half before he started flipping his lid on MMA Joey, and I'm like, man, this dude is a troll. And Joey was playing it off cool. He was just laughing him off. He's like, whatever, dude, unsubscribe from me. And he's like, I sure will, blah blah blah. And I don't know if he did or not, but that was like, you know what, $3 a month, I'll become a member. And plus he has a cool gift at once for new members. So I was like, I'm a member to a lot of these YouTube channels for $3 a month and crap. And I like MMA Joey. I do. I like he's like I was saying, he impressed me with his knowledge, because when he was doing his fantasy matchup fights, like who would you like to see with the chat? Who would you like to see fight? And I just grabbed two very prime featherweights. I said Ilia Topuria versus Bryce Mitchell. And real quick, as he was reading through, he's like, oh, that would be a good one, but I'm letting you know, Ilya Topuria is scheduled to fight so-and-so in February, and Bryce Mitchell, I think, is fighting Shane Burgos in January. And he, right off the top, he didn't have to look the stuff up. He already knew it. And that's why I was like, this dude is quick. He's quick with his info. I like him. So, MMA Joey, I'm glad I became a member. I'm going to be more attentive to your live streams on Wednesday nights. And, yeah. Anyways, MMA Joey is taking Dan Ige. All that just to tell you who MMA Joey's taking. And the thing is, I've never used him before, so he is a debutante to the Capper comparison shit. But good on him. Then we have E-Money. E-Money, now Mr. College Boy. He I usually don't use his stuff because he usually puts it out late, but he did manage to get this video out in time that I could use it. And it's late now, it's Thursday. I like to get all my research done before Thursdays, and I have it all done now, but you know, I'd like to free up Friday so I don't do any videos. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to do a video tomorrow covering Jeff Neal fight. Jeff Neal and Ponzinibbio, covering the co-main event between the Lioness, Amanda Nunes, and whatever her name is. Oh man, it's bugging me. But anyway, and I gotta cover that shit tomorrow, which I have the info. I could do it tonight. There's too much to do in one night. Anyway, E-Money is on Josh Emmett, the hard-hitting Josh Emmett. Then we've got Bout Betters. Bout Better, big supporter of my channel, so therefore I'm a supporter of his. In this place, he's saying dog or pass spot for Dan Ige at plus 130. If he's putting money on a bet on him, I hope he took him earlier when he was at plus 180. And then for the tiebreaker, as you can see, we're tied. I've got Dog or Pass Podcast. That's Paul Shaughnessy and CJ Cody Saftik from the Mayo Media Network. Dog or Pass Podcast. And both of those guys, Paul and Cody Saftik, are taking Dan Ige. So I'm going to write, what is it? It's called like the Mayo Media Network, but I'm going to put Dog or Pass Podcast, because that's the type. The channel is the Mayo Media Network. The show is Dog or Pass Podcast. So Paul Shaughnessy, and CJ or Cody Saftik both taking Dan Ige here. Yeah, so it's up to me. I should go with the Capper majority at plus money, but I don't know, man. I like when I'm watching Instagram, you know, just like whatever on the toilet, whatever. I'm just flipping through Instagram. They show little snippets of stuff as you're scrolling through, and that Josh Emmett is impressive with his power. Impressive power at 145. I know Dan Ige's never been KO'd, or has he? I don't believe he has, but I'm gonna take Josh Emmett to get it done here. I don't think he's gonna knock out Ige, so I'll probably take him. But he's gonna have the very strong hits, strong punches. I think I'm gonna take him to. I think by decision. That's the route I'm going. And like I said, it's gonna be a banger. I'm impressed with Josh Emmett. He's not the most attractive dude, but it's his fights. It's not a pageant. It's not a a beauty contest or anything. Josh Emmett, he's a beast. Better record. I think he's deserving to be a minus 150. I still think that's good. That's a good value on Josh Emmett. Actually, like I said, he opened up at minus 220. I probably would have took him at that too. But yeah, I like Josh Emmett here. Moving on. Next, we've got the Sugar Show. SeanO'Malley taking on Raulian Paiva. Raulian Paiva. SeanO'Malley coming off a win against Chris Moutinho, and boy, that Chris Moutinho, that the ref, what's his Dean Herb? Herb Dean. Herb Dean. He must have had it. He must have had it within distance bet on Sean O'Malley, because Chris Moutinho would not stop coming forward, absorbing so many punches. I think the last round it was like 80 punches to like 17 or something stupid. Sean O'Malley was just rocking this kid round after round. Just the volume was sick, but Chris Moutinho would not stop coming, was just eating everything Sean O'Malley had. Everything he had for him. And Sean O'Malley is the big -300 favorite here. 3-1 favorite over Raulian Paiva. He's 14-1. His one loss, everybody knows, is that Chito Vera, where Marlon Chito Vera managed to kick him in that nerve in the leg. And so he was hobbled and ended up Chito, got a ground and pound via elbows and beat him fair and square. Hey, Sean O'Malley of course claims, oh, he just got lucky with that kick. Dude, it's a move now. It's like the leg kicks are a thing. Anyway, Sean O'Malley, like I said, 4-1 in his last 5. He's fighting out of MMA Lab, good facility over in Arizona. He is very close in age here. Sean O'Malley's 27, Raulian Paiva's 26. Now let's talk about the underdog, plus 250, Raulian Paiva. Sean O'Malley was -310 too, so the line did move a little bit. Like I said, these odds are from Bet Online, so I'm not saying money's coming on Paiva. I just think Bet Online just moved it to 300 from 310. It's roughly around the same everywhere you go. Okay, Raulian Paiva's coming off a debatable win, majority decision against Kyler Phillips, which a lot of people are saying Kyler Phillips should have got the win there. I don't know. I think it could have went either way. It was a majority win, meaning one of the judges called it a draw. Raulian Paiva's 3-2 in his last 5. He fights out of Alpha Male also. So Alpha Male's coming mob deep to this card. But statistically, Raulian Paiva's, like, the volume sucks compared to O'Malley. O'Malley beats him in every single stat. Now, I heard from Bout Better and all these other, like a lot of other cappers, this Sean Shelby, he's the matchmaker. This is a setup fight for Sugar Show, because Sugar Sean O'Malley now is like a lot of hype, brings in a lot of fan base. Every preteen boy that follows UFC is a big fan of Sean O'Malley. He's got the colorful hair and everything. Speaking of that, remember I was saying I flipped through Instagram, like just when I'm bored, whatever. There was a clip of Sean O'Malley, and this is before he was the colored hair. It must have been way in his early days, and he had a kick, like a roundhouse kick knockout of somebody, and I had to double look at it because he looked just like Chase Hooper without colored hair. I'm like, was that Chase Hooper? Chase Hooper, BJJ kid. He's like, they had the same frame though, all thin, skinny ass legs and shit. Man, I am not a fan of Sean O'Malley. I will tell you right now, I'm not a fan of him. He has, like Chris Moutinho. I mean, come on. The best person he's ever fought was Marlon Vera. Marlon Vera beat him. See, this is going to be a jump up in competition. Everybody's going against Raulian Paiva. Let's see what the cappers have to say about this. This is kind of, we'll see. I mean, I think Raulian Paiva is dangerous, more so than a lot of people believe. And even if Sean Shelby did set this up for O'Malley to get like a flash, finish knockout or whatever, it doesn't mean Raulian Paiva is going to lay down for the guy. I'm going to root for him regardless, but I'm going to tell you who I'm going to pick after I write down everybody else. We got E-Money saying O'Malley knockout in the first. We've got both the guys from Dog or Pass, D or P, Paul and Cody. That's the Mayo. I don't know, should I write Dog or Pass or Mayo? I don't know. But you know what I mean. That show, Dog or Pass podcast. Both those guys taking O'Malley. Bout Betters. Bout Better is also taking O'Malley. He's the one on his channel. Links will be in the description. Not all, because he doesn't do full card. He does a video for each fight, break separately. I'll put this one up though. But on this fight, I commented, I'm like, Raulian Paiva is dangerous more so than the stats show, because the stats show like O'Malley's volume is like 5 point something strikes landed per minute compared to Raulian Paiva's like at 3 point something, and you know everything is leaning the side heavily on O'Malley. Even the wrestling, which is surprisingly. Because O'Malley, his wrestling doesn't get tested. You don't see it shit going to the ground. But they were both very low value, like low takedown accuracy. These guys, I don't think either one of them are really on the ground. But if you look at the Tapology, O'Malley does do exhibitions like grappling and submission wrestling. So he does BJJ tournaments and stuff. You can see it's in his Tapology. And he's like... win some, lose some, but so that is there. I just don't know who is better on the ground, and the stats don't show it. But anyway, Bout Better also taking O'Malley. MMA Joey taking O'Malley, but I can tell he is not a fan of Sugar Show either. He's secretly wanting Paiva to win. And Vlad finishing it off, also taking Sean O'Malley to get it done. And that is the sensible pick, making this a full capper consensus. A full capper consensus is when all the cappers take one side. And in this case, full capper consensus is when all the cappers take one side. All right, and in this case, everybody's taking Sugar Sean O'Malley to get it done against Raulian Paiva. But and I think I am too. That's the most sensible thing. It's gonna probably happen, but I'll tell you what. I'm gonna be pulling for Paiva. I'm gonna be rooting for him. I'm not. Aside from this, because I do make a parlay with every show I do with all my picks. Aside from this, O'Malley is not going into any parlay of mine, and I'm gonna put a little hedge on Paiva, actually, a little hedge bet. And I'm gonna be rooting for him to beat Sean O'Malley because I think the guy is. He's never really been tested. Why don't you go jump way up in class? You get 14-1. Take on somebody that hopefully Paiva's. 21-3. That's not that bad. And Paiva, he's got it in him. I think he could get it done. I just don't see it happening. Here. I think Sean O'Malley is probably gonna win. But minus 300. That's just a slap in Raulian Paiva's face. I hope he shows the world that he can overcome those odds, and I hope he takes it to Sean O'Malley. I hope he takes it to the ground and wins maybe a control time decision. That's not my pick, guys. That is not my pick, but that is who I'm rooting for. I'm gonna take Sean O'Malley to get it done. Probably within distance. He'll probably knock him out, but I don't know. He couldn't knock out Chris Moutinho, and Chris Moutinho was a short notice off the bench out of where was he from? Cage Fury or something? That was a UFC debut for Chris Moutinho, and what's his name? It's like Matt. It's like I forget, but or Mercer. What was it? I don't know. He's got a cool nickname too. But I can't think of it right now off the top of my head. But Chris Moutinho that fight should have never even been stopped. Herb Dean stopped that at 4 minutes and 30 something seconds of the third round. They should just let it go to decision. It would have crashed everybody's parlays because everybody had O'Malley within distance. They thought they were going to walk over Chris Moutinho. I like Chris Moutinho. I mean, I like his heart. Let's see what hopefully he's got another fight. I think he had like a 3-fight contract. But anyway, and that was the first short notice against a rising star, Sean O'Malley. So I think O'Malley probably win, but he's not going to take out Raulian Paiva. It's going to be a decision victory. But I'm telling you, I am reluctant. I'm going to be rooting for Paiva. I am. Forget that sugar show hype train. Anyway, moving on. This one, KaiKara-France, don't blink, is taking on Cody Garbrandt. No love. This is going to be a fantastic... Man, this card is so sick. This is going to be a fantastic fight. Cody Garbrandt's coming down from 135 to fight at flyweight 125, the lowest weight class for men in the UFC, which Garbrandt I heard he's cut weight before to go down to 135, and he had problems like with his liver, and if you're on the side of Garbrandt, watch the scales come weigh in. Watch the face-off, see if there's any type of wobble or if he had a bad weight cut, because Cody Garbrandt, he's coming down, and right now his chin is suspect already as of late. I mean, let's break these down. Okay. The favorite, Cody Garbrandt, 12-4, minus 135, opened up at minus 175. So, and this KaiKara-France was plus 150. Now he's a plus 115. That means money's been going against Garbrandt, coming in on KaiKara-France, and that's what caused a major line movement. Just like this one, big line movement, because the bookies are noticing the money's coming in on KaiKara-France. Because, sensibly enough, they realize, the public, the bettors are realizing Cody Garbrandt is 1-4 in his last 5. 1-4. His most recent loss was to Rob Font, which you've got to let that go. It's Rob Font, you know. But 1-4. His only win in his last 5 was against Rafael Asuncao. He knocked him out in round 2. But aside from that, he's 12-4, and 4 of his losses are in his last 5. So, is he thinking, I'm going to drop down to the lowest weight class I possibly can so I can have a power advantage? I think it's backfire. I think his idea is going to backfire, because once you're sucking weight and trying to cut weight down to your body fat was already way low. Now you got to dehydrate yourself just to lose that extra weight to get down to the lowest class. KaiKara-France is 5'3". Cody Garbrandt's like 5'9", I think, or 5'8" or something. I know he's got a 4-inch height advantage. So KaiKara-France already walks around 125. He doesn't got to suck weight. He's 5'3". He's already. He doesn't have to suck weight. He's gonna be healthier. Don't blink. He's already super fast. He's quick. He puts all his weight into his punches too. He's got good output, good volume. If you stat by stat, KaiKara-France, better stats, better striking volume, better striking accuracy. I think he beats him in all ways, except for maybe the wrestling. I'm not sure. I know Cody Garbrandt won a state championship in, I want to say, Ohio, when he was a freshman in high school, but then he quit wrestling to take boxing, which was, I think he actually won the state wrestling championships twice. I know his Wikipedia only says freshman year, but I heard Cody Saftik say he won it twice through his, but then he didn't proceed with wrestling. Instead, he switched and became, according to Tapology, the Wikipedia article, He switched from wrestling to boxing, and you can see there's an Instagram clip of him fighting Dominic Cruz, and Dominic Cruz is trying all these weird angle hits, and Garbrandt's just dodged them all and does this little dance and everything. And he's slick. He can avoid strikes. He's slick, Cody Garbrandt. This is going to be a killer fight, I'm telling you. But anyway, Cody Garbrandt, another alpha male product. Like I told you, mob deep. Alpha males coming mob deep. Every fighter on this, look, alpha male, alpha male, alpha male. That's why I'm liking Paiva too. They're gonna come mob. You know, Uriah Faber's gonna be ringside every one of these fights. You know that. KaiKara-France, welcome to Shitty Kickboxing. Yeah, he's out of City Kickboxing down in New Zealand. Fantastic place. But you know, I don't know about still, but I know that during the COVID they did have that weird like restrictions on training. That's when Dan Hooker had to move to the States, and Australia, like as of late, the Australians have not been winning. I mean, look at last week, Brad Riddell. You know, Fiziev was Sanford MMA. Brad Riddell, City Kickboxing, and he lost. I'm just saying, the Australians and New Zealand, over in that continent of Australia, those guys have not been winning. But like I said, this one is going to be different because KaiKara-France is already 125 and good at 125. He's already there. He doesn't have to mess with his weight at all. Cody Garbrandt's going to have to suck weight. I think he's going to have a bad weight cut. I just think so. And KaiKara-France, despite being shorter, he's still got a 1-inch reach advantage. And don't blink he don't have that name just because he has that name because he's quick, he's fast, and the stats show it. More output, more volume, more strike accuracy. He looked side-by-side stats. About Better will list them up. That you can see them, and you can see KaiKara-France has better striking stats. Anyway, KaiKara-France is coming off a win against Rogerio Bontorin. Knocked his ass out, TKO round 1. He's 3-2 in his last 5. His most recent loss was against Brandon Royval, which Brandon Royval's all good. Brandon Royval caught him in a guillotine in round 2. That's where the hole is. I don't know if I'm not strong. I don't. KaiKara-France, I heard, is just a blue belt in BJJ. So I think Cody Garbrandt, he doesn't use his wrestling though. But I think if he implicates his wrestling, that would be the best route to victory. I don't think he should stand and bang, especially with a compromised chin at dropping a weight class, sucking weight. Once you suck weight, you're weak. You're weakened. No matter, you get the 24 hours to put it back on or whatever, nutrient up. But I don't know. I wouldn't test the striking stand-up against KaiKara-France. So I think Garbrandt, if he wants to win, he's got to use his wrestling and use the BJJ. Like KaiKara-France, a blue belt. That's this. You go white belt, blue belt. Blue belt's the next right one belt color up from white. So, you know, not impressive there. But the whole weight cut thing is bugging the shit out of me. Anyway, let's see what the cappers have to say, starting with the favorite and Cody No Love, Garbrandt. Oh, man. Okay, we've got MMA Joey. He's on Cody. He had in his chat Wednesday night, last night, he had the he puts up the polls with the chat room, and Cody Garbrandt just barely edged out the victory there with the people in the chat. I think he's like 52% to 48% taking Garbrandt. I'll tell you who I picked after, but MMA Joey's taking Garbrandt. Then we've got Bout Betters taking KaiKara-France. I would imagine because of the statistics, Bout Better is a stat guy, and he does post them side by side. And I told you, KaiKara-France has better stats, better striking stats. Then we've got both Paul and Cody from Mayo Media, dog or pass. Both of them taking Cody Garbrandt. And next we have UFC Celebrities and Classics. Vlad, his main bet is fight will not go the distance. He thinks somebody's going to get shut down here. But 125, man, it's tough because that's the lightest, like I said, it's the lightest weight class you can be as a male. And as an adult male, I think anything below 125, you're emaciated. Unless you're like a jockey or something. But I think the low, like KaiKara-France, that's the smallest frame you can have to still have like physical muscular fortitude and output. You don't that's why high school wrestling, there's I think it goes freshman, you can I think the lowest weight class is 98 or 91 or something. Then after Christmas you get allowance, so it's 105. I know, but that's like 9th, 10th graders. You don't see seniors. I think 110 is the lowest weight class as a senior, and those guys are all like 5'2", 5'3". They're all like KaiKara-France. But KaiKara-France, he's a full-grown adult. He just happens to have a smaller frame, but he's got the 1-inch reach, which is weird. But anyway, to break the tie, we've got E-Money. Who's E-Money taking in this fight? He's taking KaiKara-France. E-Money thinks KaiKara-France should get the victory here by KO in the first. Man, no respect for Cody Garbrandt. I'm still on the fence, dude. I don't know. Like I said, the weight cut thing. If this was at bantamweight 135, I would probably side with Cody Garbrandt. But I think his weight cut. I understand you want to be the stronger guy because you got less weight. Just like in wrestling, high school wrestling, the lower your muscle mass, the hardest weight class I heard when I wrestled in high school, I guess 167 is the hardest weight class because that is the thickest muscle mass with the lowest body percentage. Something like the math, like the physical attribute math. I guess 167 is the most difficult weight class to wrestle at, but that's just a rumor that it can't be verified biologically by science because everybody's got different frames and body structure. But I heard that's the hardest weight class to go at. Competitive wise, try to go 177 or 155. 167 is a very difficult class to wrestle at. But anyway, this fight, if it was 135, I'll be all over Garbrandt. But I don't know. 1-4 in his last fight. Not looking good. He's not the same guy he was back when he fought Dominic Cruz, that's for sure. And the stats have the regular walk-around flyweight, KaiKara-France. So, and the majority of the cappers have him too. So I'm going to go with the plus money here. He is plus money. I'm a plus money junkie, so I'm going to take KaiKara-France here to get the job done. I'm betting that Cody Garbrandt is going to become weaker as he cuts weight. I'm going to take KaiKara-France. I don't know about... I think he's going to get the volume. Like I said, if Garbrandt takes it to the ground, though, I think he would have the advantage. If you watch his fights, he likes to stand and bang. He likes to stand up, so I don't think it's going to happen. But that would, if subject to change. But right now, I'm going to take KaiKara-France by decision. But Cody Garbrandt, man, I'm torn. I'm torn on that fight. But for the sake of the show, gun to head, I'm going to take KaiKara-France. But Cody, only because recency too. 1-4 in his last 5. That's not a good look. Is he the same fighter? I don't know. I think this is desperation weight cut to go down weight class, hoping that he can bring back his winning ways. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, there you have it. Be sure to tune in Friday after the weigh-ins for my live stream. BC Dave, probably Mbae. I'm not sure. I didn't verify with her. But definitely me and BC Dave, we will discuss every fight on the card. And I will revisit every fight after I see how they look in the weigh-ins. And that might flip my pick on Garbrandt. But for the sake of this show, I'm going to take to recap. Oh, I love you, babe. Okay, to recap, I've got Josh Emmett beating Dan Ige in a decision. I just don't. Dan Ige's never been knocked out, and I know Josh Emmett, hardest hitter at featherweight, but I don't think he's gonna be able to knock out Dan Ige. He could, but I'm gonna take him by decision because the judges are gonna see his. Look at your rat nest hair. That doesn't work. That's why I threw it in your in that bucket, because you keep the caps off. So I got Josh Emmett winning a decision over 50K Dan Ige. Then I got Sugar Sean O'Malley. I don't want him to win, but sensible. He should win. Stats say he should win. The setup, it's a setup because he's the hype train. I hope after Raulian Paiva, though, they give him a decent, like a contender opponent, like a top 15 guy. But the thing is, Raulian Paiva, I think he was up there before. So I don't know. I'm rooting for Raulian Paiva, but my brain is telling me Sean O'Malley should win it. So I'm going to take him to get the decision. But man, I'm pulling for Raulian Paiva. I am going to hedge bet it too. I just have to. If I don't and he wins, I'm going to kick myself in the ass. So I'm definitely putting half a unit on Raulian Paiva. But my pick for Tapology will be Sean O'Malley. And finally, I'm taking KaiKara-France because of the weight cut Cody Garbrandt's going to have to do and recency bias, because he's been 1-4 in his last 5, where KaiKara-France is 3-2 in his last 5. I just think KaiKara-France Don't Blink is going to have a little bit edge because he doesn't have to suffer through a weight cut at the lowest weight class in the UFC. So there you have it. Gather the info, place your bets, and cash those tickets. I cashed those tickets. I appreciate you watching. Give me that thumbs up. Go ahead and fill the comments with who you think. Like Bout Better, I know you're going to fill the comments. I love reading all the comments. Tell me who you think's going to win these fights. If anyone's on the side of Raulian Paiva, I'd love to hear it. I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't think he's going to win, but I'm going to be pulling for him. Anyway, fill the comments with your opinions on these fights. Good luck on your bets, and I'll see you tomorrow for the I already did the research for Jeff Neal versus Santiago Ponzinibbio, Amanda Nunes, Juliana Pena, and Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier. I'm going to cover all that tomorrow as soon as I get out of work, and then the live stream will probably be around 8 p.m. Eastern, so tune into that. It'll be me, Dave, maybe Mbae if you guys are lucky. But thanks for watching. Good luck on your bets, and I will see you tomorrow.